Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're in grade 5, unit 4, lesson 5. Lesson 5 is just a review of lessons 1 through 4, just wants us to practice. So, I'm going to show you a few problems to practice. I'm starting with number 21, but please do use a lot of practice. Now, this is not the time to use your calculator for practice, but it's a very good idea to use your calculator to check yourself. So once you do choose a multiplication method in practice, please get your calculator and try it and see how you did. So I'm on number 21. Number 21 says Pascal wants to read 99 pages every week for 35 weeks. So, how many pages will he have read at the end of that time? And it wants us actually to try to use mental math to find the solution. And when we think of mental math finding the solution, we're usually thinking of using the distributive property to change one of the numbers to kind of think of it mentally. So he wants to read 99 pages, which is kind of funny. You might be asking yourself, why not just read 100 pages? And that's going to actually help us solve the problem. So we're going to think, what if he read 100 pages for 35 weeks? What if he did 100 35 times? Or in this case, I actually wrote it as uh, on 35, 100. But what if he did 135 groups of 135 groups of 100? Every day he read 100 pages. 100 pages, oh, sorry, every week. 100 pages the first week, 100 pages the second week, 100 pages the third week. Well, this problem is pretty easy for us to solve because we know the zero trick. So every week he read 100 pages. So 35 groups of 100. We're going to multiply the numbers that aren't zeros, 35 times 1. 35 times 1, hopefully you know anything times 1 is always itself. And then we've got 2 zeros in the problem. So we need 2 zeros in the answer. So our estimate is that he will have read 3,500 or 3,500 pages by the end of the time. But remember, it wants us to find the actual answer. It just wants us to do it mentally. So we changed the 99 pages to 100. We started out with the problem of 99 pages times the 35 weeks. So how are we going to solve to figure out if we changed it to 100, how are we going to get it back to 99? Well, we just have to say our estimate has him reading one more page each week than he actually did. So in order to get back to the regular answer, we have to take away that one more page each week. So we have to do 3,500 and we have to subtract out those 35 pages. So how are we going to do that? Well, you might do this subtraction problem any way you want. However you decide to subtract, we're going to find out that he has 3,465 pages, and we want to make sure to label. Okay, we're going to come back, and this time we're going to be on number 24. Number 24 says, tigers living in Siberia can have home ranges from 190 to 1,500 square miles, depending on how plentiful their prey is. If a tiger's range is in the shape of a rectangle, that is 47 miles wide and 29 miles long. That's a pretty big range. What is the area of the tiger's home range? So let's try to figure that out. So we know that it's in the shape of a rectangle, and one side of the rectangle is 47 miles, And the other direction is 29 miles. So since when I read the problem, I sketched out a quick picture of what it was talking about in the problem. That always helps me. Please use that strategy quite often. If you get stuck, sketch out what they're talking about, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, I get it." Now, since it's already in the shape of a rectangle, I'm going to do one of my favorite methods, which is that area model, finding the place value sections method. I like to call it the area method, so that's why I'm calling it that. I'm going to take 47 apart into the place values. That's why our book calls it place value section method, because I'm going to take it apart into the 40 and the 7. I'm going to take the 29 apart into the 20 and the 9. And then I'm going to find the area of each of these individual sections of the rectangle to find out how big their area is. Multiply 40 times 20. 4 times 2 is 8. There's 2 zeros in the problem. So there's 2 zeros in the answer. 20 times 7. 7 times 2 is 14. There's 1 zero in the problem. 1 zero in the answer. 40 times 9. 4 times 9 is 36. There's 1 zero in the problem. 1 zero in the answer. 7 times 9 is 63. How am I going to find the answer? I'm going to put it all together. 800 plus 140 plus 360 plus 63. All zeros plus 3 is 3. I know that 6 and 4 is 10. So add another 1 for 6. Now we know that that's not actually a 6, it's actually a 60, but we're going to put the 6 in the tens place. I know 8 and 2 is 10, and 3 more is 13. It's actually 13 hundreds, or 1,300. So 1,363. And how are we going to label that? The shape is in a rectangle, made up of a whole bunch of tiny little squares. So we're going to label it as miles, and not just miles, but rather square miles. Okay, our last one for this video, we're going to look at number 25. Number 25 says, Paul and John have a sticker collection. They keep their stickers in 2 albums that each have 54 pages. There are 24 stickers on each page. How many stickers are in their collection? So it's important for us to know that they have 2 albums, and each of those albums has 54 pages. There are 24 stickers on each page. So we've a couple choices. We could either figure out how many pages there are altogether with the 2 albums and then multiply it by the 24 stickers, or we could just multiply the 54 pages by the 24 stickers and then realize that we need 2 of those because there's 2 albums. So let's do the 54 pages with 24 stickers each, and then we'll have to end of remember that we need 2 albums. So we've got 54 groups of 24 stickers. 54 groups of 24 stickers. Remember, multiplication times means groups of. So we have 54 groups of 24 stickers. Now, I'm going to write this up and down, and I'm going to show you one of my other favorite methods, and I know it's a favorite of a lot of you as well, because it works really well and it helps us understand place value. And it doesn't take up a lot of time, and you don't have to draw a box, so it's kind of great. So we're going to start in the ones place and do 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So we're going to write that down. Now we're going to do 4 times 50. We know that 5's a 50. 4 times 50. What is 4 times 50? Well, 4 times 5 is 20, but so 4 times 50 would be 200. So we're going to add on 200. Then we're done with that. So I'll cross that out to help myself remember. Then we're going to multiply with the 20. 20 times 4. Well, 2 times 4 is 8. 20 times 4 is 80. And then 20 times 5, 50. 20 times 50. 2 times 5 is 10, but it's 20 times 50. There's two more zeros in the problem. So that's 1,000. So this one uses the distributive property, and it also helps us stay really organized. We write down all of the numbers that we just multiplied without it having to sort of put extra ones or something in places that can be a little tricky. And if we write down everything we multiplied, we're in good shape, and we don't get stuck figuring out if we have to multiply the 2 and the 4 because that's just part of the number 24, or if we have to multiply the 5 and the 4 because that's just part of 54. So let's just add them all together. Now, our answer is 1,296. Are we done? No, remember, they needed two books. This is one of those books. Now, do I need to multiply 54 times 24 again a second time? Nah, I already have the answer. I could just do two of those. Either or, remember, multiplication is repeated addition. In this case, it might be just as fast to just add them two times. Or you could multiply it by two, either one. In either case, you're going to get your answer. Good luck practicing. Use whatever method makes sense for you, and do double check yourself either with the answer key or using a calculator. And ask a question if you need to. We'll see you next time.